got.
Chris, this time ago last year, you were usually in there doing
Yeah.
some rehabbing, all that. What does it feel like to be out here, kind of having all that behind you? And I assume as you got some needed rest and relaxation between the playoff loss and the OT.
Yeah, man. It was night and day difference between last year and this year. Like you said, all this time last year I was inside doing rehab on my own, and it's very long days, and you kind of like watch out the window, and it's like you're a kid that got in trouble, and you're like watching all your friends outside playing, having fun. So to be out here now it's a blessing. It was a lot of hard work, but like you said, it took some much needed rest right after the season. But I'm feeling really good. I feel really good with where I'm at, and it's a fresh year. Fresh opportunities for myself and for all the guys around.
Are you back to where you were before this injury?
I think I'm very close to it. Like I feel like a lot of my explosion is coming back. I feel very comfortable with the things that I'm working on, and it feels really good to be able to have the opportunity to work on my skill development this offseason as opposed to just working to like rehab and injury. So yeah.
You're gonna have a new starting quarterback this year brought to you. What's it like out here now? It's just kind of a different vibe. You got Baker obviously.
Yeah.
Fighting with Kyle
Mhm.
to be the starter, but what's the vibe out here like with those new guys?
I mean, honestly, it's just different. Anytime you have a new quarterback, it's different, and obviously we don't know who that guy is going to be yet. But it doesn't feel weird. It just feels like you're just getting reps with a bunch of guys. So, I get to work on my own skill development. Get to work with the receivers, and then it's like for us, we got to handle our business regardless of who's throwing the ball. So we kind of like discuss those things as you go out, and it's like let's make the play when the ball comes our way. Let's make the play. And I think Kyle and Baker have both done a great job so far of just, it's like a friendly competition. Like there's no like animosity. Like you see them helping each other. They talk through a bunch of things. So I think we have a really good environment on our team right now. And, I think we're all really just trying to pull the rope in the same direction.
What have you learned about Baker in these few months?
I think the biggest thing, is I think it seems like he's going to be like a very fiery competitor. You can tell that he's a pro. He came in, is locked in. He's communicating with guys. Trying to get to know guys really, and he's trying to have fun. Like you see him, like he has a different relationship with each guy. Some guys a little more like jokey, like picking fun. Some guys a little more serious, but he seems like a guy that wants to come in and be one of the guys, and he's not trying to step on anybody's toes. He's coming in and trying to be one of the guys.
What have been your impressions of the new offensive coordinator, who said that you've been a really big help in kind of, implementing this new offense?
I like him. I really do. I think the first thing that really comes to mind is he's a very smart guy. You can tell that he one really loves ball, but he really knows like what he wants to do in terms of installing an offense and attacking defenses. And I think that really comes off in meetings. It comes off in how he delivers the messaging to guys in the meeting room and on the field. And I think the guys really respond well to that. He's not really like a yeller. He's not trying to like cuss guys out. He's not trying to like berate guys. He's a teacher, and he wants to like effectively communicate that, and it's been working so far. We had a really good first day, and guys are flying around. The intensity is high. It kind of felt like a training camp practice. So I think, I think it's going to be really cool watching this whole thing develop.
And Coach Malice said that with Baker, he's been told now, so many times that he says he really senses kind of a hunger from him. Can you, I know you've only been around him so much, but can you sense that hunger for him and eagerness to kind of prove himself to critics and people that are counting him out?
I think you can say that. But I feel like that kind of goes for all of us. Like if you didn't just win the Super Bowl, you're the hunter, and everybody in like on this team is in that situation. We're all going out there. We know what like the goals that we have for ourselves, but we got to put in like a lot of work. And Baker's no different from that. We're hungry to go out there and to not only win but to compete. We're trying to put good things on tape. We're trying to get better. And Baker falls right in that category.
And for that, you guys have been counted out by a lot of people in Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts on that?
That's okay. It doesn't mean anything. You don't win games on paper. I think we saw that last year. I think last year we were, one of the favorites going into the season, and we saw where that got us. So apparently, winning things on paper is not the way to go. So, people can think whatever they want to think. It's not on us to force other people to like us or to pick us to win games. It's on us to go in every single day and improve, and that's what we're gonna do. we'll take it one day at a time, and we'll see where that gets us at the end of the year.
Chris, you've got a new offensive coordinator, you have a new quarterback.
Yep.
You have a new role this year, too. It's more like it was when you first got here into the cutter where you're going to be on the outside.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on playing more on the outside as a receiver as opposed to just always kind of being that slot guy for Bruce Arians?
I think it's just a different challenge for me, which is how I've looked at it the last really since we started is it's an exciting task for me because it's a different perspective and that's not to say that I didn't play outside in BA's offense or the previous offense because I most of the years I was kind of 50-50, but I think that it's just a different task. It's like a different vantage point, but it also gives me an opportunity to work on some different things. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to really get to work, a lot of my releases. I'm excited to get to work down the field. I'm excited to be, a mentor to a lot of the younger guys, which is a weird role for me right now. Like I'm used to being in here and it's like 15, 20 guys that are older than me. And, I walked in day one and some guys weren't here. So I was like, man, I might be the oldest guy here, but it's weird because I still kind of feel young in my mentality and in my enthusiasm for the game. So like I said, it's just different.
Chris, why aren't you here? I mean, these are voluntary OTAs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of veterans who aren't, and they've got their own reasons. Why did you feel it was important?
I think firstly, it's just important to me. I like being around the guys. I didn't get the opportunity to do this last year. It's a new offense, and I'm somebody, I don't like being feeling rushed to learn something. Or, I don't want to get here during training camp and be like, well, what's this, what's that? When everybody's here, I want to be one of the guys that's like, oh, no, this is how we do things. This is what, this route is. This is what this concept is. I think it just kind of gives me, a head start on the whole thing. But also, again, it gives me an opportunity to work on my craft. And, I have so much room for improvement, so many things I want to accomplish. And for me being here, it brings me a lot of joy just to be out here with the guys.
Chris, you talked about being one of the older guys in the room after you and Mike and Russ. There's now a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Who has shown you something other than you guys are the young guys in that room?
Man, I mean, to be honest, I've seen a lot of good things from a bunch of the guys, in different, spurts. And again, it's still brand new for a lot of guys. We just had maybe 10 new receivers come into the room. But, for the guys that have been here, it's, DT and KG, they've both been, doing some really, really good stuff. Obviously, they were here their first year last year. And, every day, every week, you see them improving. You see them improving in their play speed, and the plays that they're making. DT is incredibly explosive, probably one of the more explosive people that I've ever seen. He's like a ninja out there. KG is a very competitive guy. Russ is very shifty and crafty. And then, we got some brand new guys like Demo. He's a veteran guy. He came in the same year as me, but the rest of the guys are rookies, and they're all making different plays. You see them kind of building confidence with every single rep, and that's very cool for me to see. That kind of stuff inspires me. Obviously I already work hard, but, you see these guys and you want to work harder because you see the potential in them and you want to show them the right way to do things. And, they look up to the older guys, so trying to be a good example for those guys.
Couple more.
Chris, you have a new wide receivers coach with Brad Isaac
Yeah.
as well. Just what's your impression of him, and how much are you going to lean on him with the new offense? Outside of Dave Canales, he's the other one that knows this offense coming in.
Yeah, I really like him. I think he's very well intentioned. I think he's very knowledgeable on the system. You could tell that from the time he got in. Him and Dave, they really collab on the offense and they do a really good job teaching us effectively. I think that teaching us little coaching cues to remember certain concepts. They're very clear about what they want with the offense. So for a guy like me, I come in and I'm just I like that. I like you being clear about what you want from me. Where it's no gray. It's all right. This is where we want this route to be. Cool. Now I know what you're expecting of me, and I'm gonna work to do that to the best of my ability, and then, try to help you, with the rest of the group. And obviously, he's a young guy. This is his first time being a full-time receivers coach, but you wouldn't think that based on how he approaches it. I think we got a lot of really good things ahead of us, and especially in that room, I think he's going to do a good job leading the room.
Chris, as a leadership group and as a team, how do you handle a situation that's going on with Devin White right now, where he requests a trade, and obviously organization saying we're not trading you? Just what is that like as a player in that locker room dealing with the business side of things?
I mean, to be honest, we don't really think about it because, we all understand it's a business. we know Devin loves ball. You know, we know what Devin brings to the table. You know, we also like, but we know it's a business, and however he feels like is the best way to go about it. You know, like that's for him. But you know, when he's here, you know, we expect him to work, and we know what he's going to bring. You know, but we don't think about it too much because that's not in our control.
What's your impression of Rashad White and the work he put in the offseason? I said he put on eight pounds,
Mhm.
bigger, stronger.
Yeah.
Wants to get to 225. He looks still fast out there.
It looks good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Rashad White fan. You know, you know, from the time he came in last year, you know, you can tell that there's something there. You know, I think he has the ability to be a really good back in this league, and not just in the run game, but in the passing game. And he's put in the work, and I think that he got a lot of valuable experience last year, and you can tell that he's using that to kind of fuel him in year two. So, I mean, you typically see the biggest jump in guys from year one to year two, and I don't think that's going to be any different for Rashad. So I think the sky's the limit for him.
Last question. He says he's driven to be a Hall of Famer. That's what pushes him.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it. You know, he's the kind of guy that has that mentality. He wants to be great, you know, and he works to be that way. I mean, obviously that's a long way to go, but, you know, having that mentality, having that to strive towards, you know, it's not a bad goal.
You hooked up with Kyle a couple times today in practice. Have you noticed seen a change in him from last year when he was, you know, in that third quarterback position to this
Yeah.
year he's competing for the starting job?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Kyle is like you can tell that, you know, his confidence is much higher. Obviously, like when you're the third guy, and especially behind a guy like Tom Brady, who's, you know, the greatest of all time, you don't ever want to try to like step on anybody's toes by trying to be too much of a leader or whatever. So now Kyle coming into an opportunity where he has a chance to compete for a certain job, it's like, you know, he's trying to step forward and he's being a leader, and you can tell, you know, that he feels confident in that. So it's really cool to see. It's cool to see guys to kind of grow into their own, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Y'all be safe.